Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. So this morning is June 26th, 2023. And I'm going to be reading from Proverbs chapter 26 today. Got a few verses I want to look at. I don't know how deep I'm going to go, but they stand out every time I read it. Maybe because there's a few people in my life that I recognize this about today, and probably more likely because I recognize these verses about me so many times in my life. And so it's good to be reminded of things like that. So one, if we have changed, we remember never to go back. And two, if we see people like this in our lives, we know the answer. And that's really a good idea as well. Today we're reading from Proverbs 26, verse 23 through 26. And it says this: Smooth lips with an evil heart are like glaze on an earthen vessel. Now, before I go any further than that glaze on an earthen vessel is not like this coffee cup. This is an earthen vessel. It's ceramic. There's a glaze on it. Keeps it so that it holds liquid and doesn't soak in, and I can take a drink of my coffee and not taste the clay. All right. That's not the glaze they're talking about. The glaze they're talking about is what's called dross. It's the impurities that come off the top of the silver when it's smelted. And those impurities that come off the top like that, they are silver in color. And so people would take that and cover over earthen vessels and then sell ceramic stuff and say they were silver. And yet they still broke because they were earthen vessels. Smooth lips with an evil heart are like the glaze of an earthen vessel. It just hides the true value. Dross isn't worth anything, and it deceives. Verse 24, a hateful person disguises himself with his speech and harbors deceit within. When he speaks graciously, don't believe him, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Through his hatred, though his hatred is concealed by deception, his evil will be revealed in the assembly. And so an evil person, a person who is what I would call a pot stirrer, someone whose whole goal is to make everybody think they are good and you are bad, and they're going to give all the juicy tidbits to everybody so they can understand why you're evil. Those are the people with evil hearts. They disguise themselves with their speech while hating. When they speak, they have beautiful eloquence, and they know how to tell people what they want to hear while getting what they want. And they're really good, by the way, of making it sound like other people are doing the stuff, and really good at getting you to go out and do things so it doesn't even look like they're involved, or they think they are. I need you to remember this one thing, and it's really important. Their deception will come out. Because as people start comparing all of the stuff they know about the stuff that they think they know about you, they will find out there's one common denominator. And that's the person that's spreading the truth. And I did quotes in case you're just listening and not watching, air quotes, because while it is the things that they know to be factual, they're spun in ways to make it evil. They'll tell part of a story that's true, but miss all the relevant stuff that makes that truth that looks bad not a big deal. They'll tell everybody how you kicked them out of the building and forget to tell them that they were being arrogant despite everything else that's going on, and they're defiant and abusive and screaming and yelling at the leadership of the building, and you've asked them multiple times to stop and they won't, and you finally have to ask them to leave. And then when they leave, you let them know, this is not a permanent thing. I just can't have you acting that way right now. But they go and tell everybody you kicked them out. That really happened to me. Well, the reality is, in that situation, the person is saying, well, he kicked me out. Well, yeah, I did in that situation. And I made it very clear that the person's welcome back. I've told him many, many times that he's welcome back. But I can't let him act that way. It's difficult, isn't it? See, it will come out in the congregation. As people start having conversations, it will come back to there's one common denominator. That everybody's got a problem with this one person. But they got a problem with this one person because, well, this other person over here has been saying all this stuff. And it's clear, based on all the conversations, that it's because they're angry with the original person. And then they'll start talking about what the real character of that person is like and realize it's a lie. See, God tends to be the defender in those situations. It doesn't matter how good they are at covering over that earthen vessel with the silver look-alike, the dross that's worthless. The first time that vessel drops and it breaks, everyone knows never to buy anything from that person again. It's a dangerous place to be. You don't want to be that person. I've been that person in my life. It's not a good place to be. And you need to recognize those people in your life and then bring that out in the congregation, out in the assembly, talking about this is what this person did, and find out that he or she's done that with many other people, and then learn to not interact with that person. I think that's really important for us to remember sometimes. Yes, hon, it does, but there's many of us that act that way. When I say hon, my wife commented that sounds like someone we know. Well, it sounds like a lot of people I know. One of those people is the old Jay. But the reality is we all can change. We all can give that person a chance to change. But we need to be careful as well. I love y'all. Hope you have a great day. God bless.